from Tennessee State University, who is the Vice President for Student Affairs at Tennessee State University. I think, Vice President Martin, before we end the show today, let's talk about some of the dramatic changes that you've already indicated at Tennessee State University, and in a real sense, the culmination of some of those changes. I think that many members of our audience who have not been near Tennessee State University over the last couple of years would certainly be surprised at the physical facilities there now. We understand that there was a tremendous amount of money given in terms from the state in terms of doing that. Let's talk about that, and let's talk about the physical facilities over the last few minutes, 5 minutes that we have of this show.
Well, why don't I start with the Floyd Payne Campus Center. That's an excellent facility for student services. It's one of the finest facilities, I believe, that's around. It provides a number of student services, the admissions office, financial aid office, the career development center, student activities in the lower level of that hall, excellent food services in that building, a huge bookstore, a place for commuting students, and that's important to us. It's important to us that commuting students would have the opportunity to sit, relax, to dine, to have locker space. Let me mention the Wilma Rudolph Residence Center, which is an excellent residential hall. I'm told to say residential hall in preference in lieu of dormitory now. That's gotten to be a little old-fashioned. It's a beautiful facility and offers a substantial number of accommodations to the residents of that hall. I do want to mention that we've improved residential life in all of our halls. Hill Hall has undergone substantial renovation, and we find that to be a very accommodating building, along with Epps Hall and along with Watson. So we've made changes in all of our residents. I do want to mention another area of development that's not a part of the major capital projects development supported by the state of Tennessee. But we're looking at now some areas of development that's going to be done institutionally. The area of Gentry Center. We plan to develop a new practice football field. We plan to restructure and redevelop the Temple track field, which I know is extremely important to Tennessee State graduates, to Tennessee State students, and so we're looking at that level of development at this time. We expect to have a new softball field, new parking in that area. In fact, parking is going to be improved across the campus. Parking is a never-ending challenge because as students get cars and the parking space the need is greater. And so we have to continue to look at the development of parking space.
You know, I think that even in in the office of the Vice President of Student Affairs, you're still concerned about fundraising and some of those activities. And let's give you over the last couple of 3 minutes that we have here to say what you would like to see done in terms of bringing about more financial support to the area of student affairs, perhaps through alumni given, or however you would like to approach that. But talk about fundraising.
Yeah, I want to talk about the need for greater support for athletics. Today, athletic support is very much needed. The answer, we believe, to our athletics funding need would be season tickets. We urge our supporters and our fans to buy season tickets to our basketball and football games. Gender equity has, and we concur with gender equity. We believe that it's fair and that it's right, but it's very costly because you only have 2 sports, football and basketball, that really generate income. So that's a noted challenge to Tennessee State. So those people that might want to give to the school, to alumni and fans that can help, we urge them to support athletics in fundraising. We have a campaign going at this time, and a good many of our former athletes will receive mail from us asking to be participants in our athletics fundraising campaign. And that's extremely important to the school, and it's extremely important to developing a reputable and strong athletics program. We've just had the NCAA convention out at Operaland, and those people who were participants there understand the challenge that face all of us, not just Tennessee State, but all of higher education, all schools that are participants in athletic events have a challenge, and that challenge is to provide equity across the board for all student athletes, whether it's football, basketball, track, baseball, golf, or whatever, swimming. But we have a challenge in that area. So in response to your question, I would ask our supporters and our fans to contribute to athletics.
Very good. And let me thank you, Vice President Martin, for coming by and giving us that information about the Division of Student Affairs at Tennessee State University and some of the things that are going on at that institution now and some of the things that you are involved in, especially your fundraising activities. And I certainly would concur with you that it does need support in the athletic area in terms of fundraising. And let me encourage you to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.